Hello and welcome to Free Sample of the Week. This week we are looking at an organ by Soundiron, completely free. It works within the free Kontakt Player 7. That's important that you have the 7th edition. If you have the previous version of Kontakt Player, it won't work within it. But anyway, let's jump into it. The link is in the description, the paperwork, as always, for you to read, but I like getting stuck right in. Now, one of the things I absolutely love about Soundiron's product is this layering option. Nobody else quite does it like this, and I really like this because you can really play around with the textures and sounds that you wish to create. On layer 1 we have our organ stop 1, on layer 2 we have our stop 2. There is a third stop as well, but it goes no further than that, and you can assign each layer to either A or B and then move between them there. You can also link them. There's a little button next to them as well for the settings, which is this whole bit here, which we will dive a little bit into, but what I really want to do is just look at all the different sounds we have. Anyway, layer 1 is stop 1, layer 2 stop 2. You can change them to stop 3 as well. Has this octave button as well up to, I say button, slider. Again, we'll get into that when we look at the sounds. Layer 3 is ambiences. There are 12 different ambiences there for you to have a little bit of fun with. Now, layer 4 is automatically your wave table. But as we click on that, you can see we do have a sub-synth staccatos and sub-synth sustains as well. If you want to add a little bit more bass to it, I definitely recommend using the sub-synth sustains. I absolutely love it. A lot of their plugins are consistent with these wavetables and sub-synth sustains and staccatos. I'm stumbling over my words today, probably because I am pretty excited about this plugin. I do love some of Soundiron's stuff. Anyway, what I do love about the wavetable is you get this very simple sine wave, essentially. The same with the sub-synth sustains. You have the sines, you've got all the different waveforms, and you almost have a synth as well as an organ here, but you can get very creative with the textures and sounds as you layer them up. Now, automatically, just layer 1 is on. You can see right there, there's a little low little speaker thing there saying it's on, and to turn the layers on, you've got to click them, and you can really just build up your sound. You can link them if you want all the settings linked, or you can have one with an ARP, one with a filter. You can really just go ham and make this one sound awesome and big, and we'll try and do something similar within this video, but it's important. I've rambled enough. Let's just jump in and listen to the individual sounds and then start really messing around and having some fun. So layer 1, stop 1, this is your bog standard organ. Now, the first thing right off the bat, it is velocity sensitive. Mind my bad playing, but I wish there was more on that top end. We're getting a sense of a space of a room, but I'm not getting that maxed out sound where, you know, a nice soft low and then a cutting through melody. I'm not getting that with this, sadly. I'm wondering if there's actually any reverb on effects. We do have a verb. Is that on? I don't think it's on. Anyway, back into the performance patch, but that's layer 1. Let's move over to layer 2, which is our second stop. To me, that just sounds a bit... a bit too quiet. Let's go back to layer 1, because does that affect this in a similar way? But layer 1 seems to cut through everything. Let's not link that. It's just not cutting through as much. Modware doesn't seem to do anything either there. Alright, stop number 3. I believe it's even softer. Very, very soft. What can we do? Now there is like a little legato mode. I'll move more into that when we move into the waveform table. But just the loudness of the sample is a little bit disappointing to me. But that's the 3 stops. If we combine them, let's have stop 2 and stop 1. So these 2 different layers. You do get more volume. So on their own, they are a little bit quiet, but then as I said at the beginning, I really like the layering effect that this plugin has. While on their own, they are a little bit quiet and disappointing, but as you build up that sound, it doesn't become too overpowering. I do have some other organs to suggest to you. Wait till the end of the video and I'll show you some other free options and then a paid option that I absolutely love. But let's layer 2, let's move on to layer 3, which is the ambience. And we have a few. We probably won't go through all, might flick through them quickly, but let's just jump in. So there you have it. That is all 12 ambient sounds. There's definitely a wide range there. I definitely preferred some of the more beginning ones. Towards the end, they got very quiet. But I think layered up with everything else, again, we should get some very interesting textures. Now, moving on finally to layer 4, which is bog standard as a wave table, or comes preloaded as the wave tables. Now, this is simply a very synthy sound, which is great, especially with these softer sounds if we really want our melody to soar. Although I worry about the compatibility. Let's put layer 1 and layer 4 together. That sounds completely out of tune. Substance system. Yeah, the compatibility of that will depend on what you're going for, I guess. Back to our wave tables. Now, there is a little button over here. If we go into settings on wave table, currently we've got that nice little portamento, like glissando. We can affect that here in the legato. You can have just a simple legato instead, or we can just completely shrink the living daylight out of that, or stretch it and have a nice little pitch bend up. So that is a nice option, or you can just completely turn that off. It's still going. There we go. So that is an option as well. "12 different sounds there. And similarly, you have your different I just love the sign that comes with this. I've messed around with a couple of freebies and a couple of Soundiron products, and the ones that come with this, I just always end up fiddling around with this one, which I know is a very bog standard sign sound, but there's nothing quite like it. Anyway, let's dive into this a little bit deeper and start experimenting. Now, definitely going to put these two layers together because it is quite soft. I'm going to put that on stop 3. Going to have that on stop 1. I'm going to have we're going to actually mix them all together. I was going to do some A and B and fade between, but let's build up just one nice big sound. I liked Ambience 2. Going to turn that on as well. And I'm a sucker for my sine wave. I'm wondering what's about to happen. You know what? I'm going to put that on stop 2. Let's have softer. Definitely piping hot a bit. Let's. What would be nice is to be able to limit some of it to, like, for example, layer 1 and layer 2 to this half of the keyboard, while layer 3 and 4 to the second half of the keyboard. I don't know if that's possible, but that would be really nice. Diving into this, we can put an ARP on it as well. So we turn that ARP on. Let's turn layer 1 and 2 off. And then I'm going to change the layer 2. We're going to completely get rid of the organ altogether and just use the bog standard wavetable on number 1 and layer 1, stop 3 because that's very soft, and see what happens now. It's that wavetable, it's just quite dissonant for some reason. Bog standard subsynth sustain, a warm sine wave. That organ sound again isn't mixing well. I could quite easily probably sit here for another half an hour just messing around and fine-tuning this, but really to me, as much as this is an organ, I feel like it's more of an experimental plethora of organ-esque synthy sounds. And again, as I said right at the beginning of this video, I love this layering effect, how easy it is to pick a couple of sounds, to put an ARP on some, to even you could fiddle around with the pitch, the release, the width, a multitude of different sounds. You could have it fade from A to B and maybe do some MIDI controls there as well. It's just a fun and inspiring plugin. Would I use this as an organ? Probably not. But would I use it as something a bit more experimental and texture based? Yes, I would. If you're looking for a more box standard organ, Orchestral Tools, Minstrel. Oh, that's a wrong one. That's a free jazz flute. It's here somewhere. Crucible, there you go. Free church organ. And they have one more, I'm pretty sure. Don't hold me to it. There it is, the Clutch as well, a free tone wheel organ. So those are 2 organs for you to mess around with if you're in the market for a freebie. If you want something a little bit more paid for, this is the only organ you'll ever need. It's €59 and it has an absolute plethora of sounds, multiple mic positions, really nice velocity sensitivity. So if you're looking for something a little bit more on the pricey side, highly recommend these guys. They're a lot of fun. And actually, I believe one of the founders, or the founder, is originally from Orchestral Tools. So definitely a reliable company and a company to watch out for. I've done a couple videos on this stuff. Anyway, that's been the free sample of the week. I hope you've enjoyed this interesting edition. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.